Hello, you're welcome to another session in our English tutorials. We've learned a whole lot already, so if you missed out, check out our previous videos. So for our session today, we're going to be dealing with figures of speech. We're going to know what figures of speech are. We're going to learn the major types of figures of speech and how to use them, and we're going to look at the functions of the figures of speech. So let's get right to it. What are figures of speech? Figures of speech is a phrase or word having different meanings than its literal meaning. Literal meaning means its dictionary meaning. It conveys meaning by identifying or comparing one thing to another which has connotation or meaning familiar to the audience. Okay, so you can be saying a particular word, it may mean table, like the slang or the figures of speech we have now. You want to shake that table. I want to shake a particular table right now. So what does it mean? Is it just literally shaking the table? No, but it means you're trying to offend some people and in some particular category of the instance or the scenario you want to talk about. So these are figures of speech. So it may mean, it has its own literal meaning, has dictionary meaning, but there are connotative meanings that are familiar with the people you are talking to or relating with. These are figures of speech. That is why it is helpful to create vivid rhetorical effects. This is what the different types of figures of speech help you achieve, to create rhetorical effect that people do not need to ask you questions, but they already know what it means. Okay, aside the dictionary and plain denotative meaning. So we're going to be looking at the first type of figures of speech we'll be talking about in this class, and that is the personification. This occurs when a writer or a speaker gives human traits or human attributes to non-human or non-living things or inanimate objects. So, the example we have is, hadn't she felt it in every touch of the sunshine as its golden fingertips pressed her lids open and wound their way through her hair? So in that example, we have the speaker personifying the sunshine. Given the sunshine, the sun is an inanimate object. Okay, it is not a living. It's just an object. Just what do scientists say about the sun? It's just coming together of gases, very hot gases, I must say. So it's giving it human attributes of having fingertips that you can use to touch, put it through the hair of a woman. Okay, so that is what he's trying to say, that the sunshine was able to use the fingertips to comb through the hair of the lady who was sleeping, and also be able to touch the eyelids of the lady sleeping to open her eyes, performing lots of human attributes that the sun cannot perform on a normal day. But this is just to give the aesthetics, yes, beauty to the writing or to the speech, to make it sound exotic and not so bland. Because I've just said the sun was shining bright and she woke up in the morning. That is plain. But he had to, add some spice to it and gave the sun shine some human attributes to make it more beautiful. So the next figure of speech we're going to be talking about is the hyperbole. This uses extreme exaggeration, I must say. It exaggerates to lay emphasis on certain quality or features or happenings. Okay, it stirs up emotion in the mind of the reader or the listener. And this emotion can bring about happiness, it can bring about romance, it can bring about inspiration, laughter, or sadness. It's all for you to be able to feel the extent of something. So if a writer uses hyperbole, this extreme exaggeration, it's just for you to know the extent of what he feels. If he's really happy, it's for you to know the extent of it. If he's really in love, it's for you to know the extent of it. If he's really sad, it's for you to know the extent of it, and for you to be able to feel it as a reader or the listener. So let us look at the example we have. I love you there, I love you, till China and Africa meet, and the river jumps over the mountain, and the fish sing in the street. Okay, that is heightened exaggeration, I would say. So in the poem, the poet has used hyperbole to stress how long his love for his beloved would last. Okay, he's saying that my love for my beloved is going to last as long as till China is able to meet with Africa. Is it possible for those two regions to be able to meet without one having to travel to the other? They're so far apart. China and Africa are so far apart. So how is it possible they are able to meet? So that will never happen. So he's telling you that his love for his beloved will never end. It's not possible for Africa and China to meet. So that means it's not possible for his love to also end. The next line we have there is it possible for the rivers to jump over the mountain? No, rivers don't jump, rivers flow. They flow around the mountain. They do not jump over the mountain. It can never happen. So he's saying that his love can never end. How can fishes be able to or be intelligent enough to sing? Fishes don't sing. Fishes just swallow water. Fishes don't sing. So he's saying that until fishes start to sing, that is when my love will end, and that's never possible. How long will that take? He's only going to take a miracle. And when will a fish be able to leave the water, its home, and start walking on the street? So he's saying until the fish start to sing in the streets. It's not possible for the fish to leave water, their home, and their aquatic home, to walk on the streets and inhale oxygen and walk on dry land. It's not possible. Okay, so we have all of that heightened exaggeration, the extent of his love for his beloved. So you can probably try your own examples, but it doesn't have to be based on love all the time. Okay, just try your own examples and try to make some exaggerations for you to understand it better. So we're moving on to another type of figure of speech, and that is understatements. This is kind of like opposite of their hyperbole. Okay, the understatement uses less of whatever is intended, less of it. You know, you're expecting something, but you're getting something less. That is understatement. So the example we have is, you killed my family, and I don't like that kind of thing. No. What? Someone just killed your family, your father, your mother, your brother, everybody, and next thing, like, I don't like that kind of thing. From that example, we can see that the speaker is using understatement, because somebody who just lost his family, you cannot be talking to the killer of your family members like it's just something normal, like someone who took your pen. You know, that's the way you can react to someone takes your pen. You can say, don't take my pen again, I don't like that kind of thing. Or don't drink my water, I don't like that kind of thing. But not killing your family members. You're not going to ever see them again and you say, I don't like that kind of thing. So this is understatement, okay? You're taking out the gravity or the intense nature of a particular thing and you're just watering it down. Understatement. The next one is simile. We know this is very popular. It's a type of comparison between things or objects using the words has and like. These are words that show comparison. So you use this as and like, and that is how they are simile. It has to appear in the sentence. So we have the example here. We have, my heart is like a singing bird. We can see like here, whose nest is in the watered shoot. My heart is like, another like, an apple tree. My heart is like, again, a rainbow shell. So you use like in all of this to compare his heart and what he feels, how his heart feels, or the state of his heart right now. My heart is like an apple tree, you know, that has apples on it. My heart is like a rainbow shell. It's joyful. My heart is like a singing bird, you know, like. You can also have examples, as the deer panted for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. So it's trying to compare the urgency for which the deer wants water, and that is how the person wants the other person. Do you understand? So as and like are pointers to simile. So whenever you see it and they say you to identify similes, you look out for as and like. So now we're going to look now at the next type of figure of speech, which is metaphor. This is comparison also, just like simile, but it is taking out the as and like, and it does it directly. Yeah, this is a more direct way of comparing different scenarios or different things or different categories together. Metaphor is a figure of speech that makes an implicit, implied, or hidden comparison between two things that are so unrelated but which share some common characteristics to the context or what the speaker or reader is trying to say. Okay, so the example we have is, my brother was boiling mad. He's just trying to say my brother was very angry. Okay, but why did he use boiling? When water is boiling, when something is boiling, when oil is boiling, you know it's very hot, you cannot touch it, yeah, it's gonna burn you. Yes, so he's trying to say that his brother's anger was that hot that you dare not go close to him. He's going to do something to you, to tell you that he's boiling mad. Okay, he's boiling of madness right now. Do not come close. That is what he's trying to say. So he did that comparison of the heat of boiling with being angry, to tell you, to heighten the extent for which his brother was angry. It's direct comparison, direct, straightforward, removed all the as and like. The next one we have is, the assignment was a breeze. This implies that the assignment was not difficult. The denotative meaning of breeze would be the wind, so easy, calmly passing. So that is why the person put the assignment and breeze together, and he just directly related it and just said the assignment was a breeze, just equally to it. So the breeze means it was easy, it was soft, it was calm. I was able to do the assignment effortlessly. The breeze passes effortlessly, nothing blocks it, it's just so calm and moves smoothly. So that is what he was trying to explain, that he was able to do the assignment effortlessly without any itches or problem or difficulty whatsoever. The last example we have for metaphor is, her voice is music to his ears. This means that her voice makes him happy. What the writer is, that is just plainly her voice makes him happy. But instead of saying her voice is like music to his ears, no, took out a like and just said it's music to his ears, makes him, you know, feel happy, makes him calm. You know, people listen to music to make themselves happy, to make themselves relaxed, you know, to put them in a good mood. So her voice puts him in a good mood. So he just said it is plain and short music to his ears. That's what metaphor does. I'm sure we hear a lot of metaphor every now and then, but we do not know that we are actually using it. For now that you know, just know that when somebody says, wow, her voice is like music to my ears, just know that, oh, that's metaphor. All right, good. So now we've left the different types of metaphor, figures of speech rather. We're going to be looking at the functions of the figures of speech. So the first function we have here is, the figure of speech is not only used to embellish language, it also causes a moment of excitement when reading. Okay, instead of language being so bland and straightforward, so simple and plain, you can embellish it, yes, with the figures of speech. Just make it a bit more different. I really call figures of speech decorating language, you know, using words to, you know, bring out extra meaning, heightened meaning, and heightened effect, you know, to do what? All of this to do what? To create a level of excitement, to bring out the emotion in the reader or the listener, okay, to get people imagining and feeling what you want them to feel. That's what figures of speech do. Okay, the next function of figure of speech is that it is used equally in writing as well as in speech. As I said, it's not only for written form of language, it's also for spoken form of language. Like songs that we hear every now and then, a lot of songs, especially rap, especially rhythm and blues, there are a lot of figures of speech used in them. Just try and sit down and listen to various songs, you know, especially the ones with good qualities from really quality artists. You would listen, you would discover that there are lots of figures of speech used in those songs. Okay, Now the next function is it provides emphasis, clarity or freshness to expression. It provides emphasis, clarity and freshness to expression. It places emphasis on where it's supposed to be placed on. You know, for the hyperbole, places emphasis for you to know exactly what the reader or the speaker wants to talk about, and it explains everything perfectly for the reader or the listener to be able to imagine it clearly. Clarity, however, may sometimes suffer, okay, when using figures of speech, because the figures of speech being used, they would introduce double meanings. Okay, when you are having a particular sentence or speech or something that's been written, you can have the connotative and also the denotative meaning of a word. The denotative is the dictionary meaning, the plain meaning, literal meaning, but the connotative is, you know, hidden meaning, a meaning that is understood, contextual meaning that's understood between the speaker and the listener, or the writer and the reader. Okay, it is a contextual meaning. That's what the connotative is. So there are different meanings to a word or a phrase that may be confusing at times if people do not look carefully. The next one is it also strengthens the creative expression and description, along with making language more graphic, pointed and vivid. Don't forget I said that the figures of speech are used to help the reader or the listener imagine more and feel exactly what the writer or the speaker is saying. So figures of speech help to make language more vivid, graphic and direct, pointed to what is intended to explain or talk about. And so with that, we come to the end of this session, where we talked about figures of speech. We looked at the different types, we looked at the functions, why they are used and how they are used, and little assignment: go listen to a lot of songs and you would know when and spot instances of figures of speech. So make it a date with us, and we're going to be learning so much in our next session. We're going to be dealing with idiomatic expressions. We're going to be learning a whole lot. Don't miss it.